Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? It's your boy, Blaze McCoy. We're live with WrestleSense number 28. What's happening, everybody? Good to see everyone popping in the chat already. Anybody want to talk some wrestling? Is there anything to talk about? I don't know. Let's see. Wally in the house, already coming in from the side. What's up, Wally? Cody Hagan. Leo's in the building. What's up, Leo? Great to see everybody. Jester's in the house. Good to see you, Jester. Chaos Reaper. Atticus Black is here. Welcome in. Welcome in. PFW's in the building. Good to see you, Tito. Andy Price, welcome, welcome. Cassie, Madam Red. Good to see you, Cassie. Good to see everybody. Cougs. Hey, what's up, Cougar? Cougar Knight is in the building, too. Riley Wolf. Oh, you get the button. Yeah. Screw you. Monstar's in the house. What's up? Sean's in the building, too. Good to see everybody. Welcome in. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. I'm sure we're going to find something to talk about, right?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, MJF.
I'm sure we will. Let's bring in DH first before the other initials.
All a W-O-R-K. Work, baby.
It's all a DOC. What's up, Doc?
None much. Just here and talking about the work.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Putting in work. Clinton's in the house. Everyone, good to see y'all. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. We're going to get right into it because the first segment and the first part of it's going to get right to the point of what everyone wants to talk about. So let's not piss around. Let's make some sense of it from the side. Double or Nothing last Sunday, and I think
I am a big fat loser. I promise that.
Well, you guys want the good news first or the bad news?
Bad news. Go bad. Bad news always goes good first.
The bad news is Eazy-E is the new champion of the pick'em. He had 9 out of 11. The 2 that were added late we didn't use. Ray and Doc, you had 8, and me and CJ were at the bottom with 7.
Yeah.
Wait. Which one did he get over us?
Easy E. You'll make me look it all up, aren't you?
Yes, I know.
Jurassic Express. Him and CJ had Jurassic Express.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
And
That's
I
the one
bet
that
Swerve
did
and Lee and Ray.
Yep.
You bet you didn't. You DH? Did you do?
And CJ and Easy E had Britt
Yeah.
too. They were the only ones that had Britt.
Oh wow, yeah, I had Ruby.
baby.
So that was the difference. Those were the difference right there.
It's
so
Pittsburgh, baby.
the buy-in, we all had Hook. Anything you guys want to add to that match? No. Let's talk about MJF.
Whoa, hold on a minute. You're not going to give at least a little pop here for Hookhausen?
yeah, that's up to you. That's up to you.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Look,
I loved it. It was a great time. It was a fun time. And Tony Nese didn't look bad. They pinned Sterling.
Tony
I mean, it
Nese
was
is
perfect.
great.
the Hook
Yeah, that's why I said-
Danhausen thing is fucking great. It's money,
Yeah.
but I hope that they don't let that take away from Hook and the build that he was doing as the badass.
Yeah.
Like, they cannot let him cross that line of comedy. He has to play this straight for the little while. I like it because he's building, but he's not building. But it's a great entertaining thing. He's a great foil to Danhausen, a great straight guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In that comedy team where Danhausen's all the comedy and Hook's just playing it straight arrow.
Hook doesn't
And I
have
wanna
to
see
work at
more.
all. If you think about it, Hook doesn't have to work at all. Hook
Not really.
literally just sits there, shakes his
No.
head in disgust, is like, oh fuck.
One
Okay.
problem
You know?
is-
One thing's for sure, I don't want to hear Hook speak again for a long time.
Yeah, Hook, hot tag, suplex, choke out. That's all I need.
Yeah, right.
So you think this sets up Tony Nese versus Hook?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I hope that they really give that match time because as
Mhm.
CJ has touted, Tony Nese is a phenomenal worker. Has been
He's
for.
amazing.
I mean, we saw him in IWC where CJ is a referee at 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah,
and he was
and
head and shoulders above everybody else then.
and I worked the hardcore House of Hardcore show for Dreamer that they had at Core Time. It was Nice and M Dog.
That'd have been a
That
match.
cross.
Yeah, I think someone's got to find a chink in the armor of old Hook there, and Tony needs to be a good one to get him over a little bit, as he can, give him a little bit of a beating.
Yeah, I'd like to see a
Absolutely.
12 to 15 minute competitive match with him. You know what I mean? We haven't.
Yep.
Hook has ran through everybody, but now start seeing him sell. We need to start seeing him, put some psychology of a match together to build the character.
Mm-hmm.
Even if
Next!
Sterling has some to do with it. Or
Now
something.
we
All right.
can next.
The elephant in the room, or the MJF in the room. Is it a work? Is it a shoot? It's a shoot of a work, and the work
It's
that in
a
is a shooting.
It's all
Listen.
a work.
Listen, I'm going to give you my opinion, then you guys can chime in on what you think. You might
Yeah.
agree, you might disagree. This, up until Double or Nothing, was a shoot. Him blowing off the Fan Fest was a shoot.
CJ's going to disagree, but I agree.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's what I've heard too. Go
I
ahead.
believe. Look, from what I've heard, and again, we're no authority.
No,
Right.
we're-
From what
we're
I've
hearing
heard-
from other people.
MJF was signed to a not a minimum contract, but like a lower level contract when AEW started. He's been given a raise some point.
They were
as
40 to
he-
70,000 were those baby contracts. The
I
OGs
think
are the only
he's
ones that
getting
got
more
more.
than that.
Well, no,
That was
he
before
is.
his bump. Early in the year, he got a raise.
They said that he got a raise
big
year
one.
2 of a couple $100,000. So
Yeah.
I would say he's probably making
250
in the $500,000,
Yeah.
$400,000
Yeah.
range, which is still not CM Punk, Daniel Bryan,
He
Chris
wants a couple
Jericho
million.
money.
He wants a couple million, I'm sure.
So we've obviously seen the frustration. There are reports that they had a sit down between MJF and Tony Khan before Double or Nothing. The fact that he walked out begrudgingly, did the match, you could tell begrudgingly, because he did not sell a fucking power bomb right. Me and Doc commented on every one how he was bumping on his, he was bumping shittily, he was bumping on his elbows. He wasn't selling out to make Wardlow look good.
He's definitely disgruntled for months from a lot of what I've heard.
And then they did the stretcher thing to essentially write him off TV. The fact that he was on TV Wednesday tells me that between Double or Nothing and Wednesday, him
The
and Tony
checkbook
Khan
opened.
sat down. There's some type of agreement because they were never going to give this motherfucker a live mic on national television with free reign to say what he said unless it's now part of some type of agreement and storyline and raise or bump or whatever.
Yeah.
And I am all for it. The realism was fucking fantastic. That promo was
Fire.
fantastic.
Yep.
I'm invested big time in this now.
Me too.
And the fact that they did the stretch, if they wouldn't have done the stretcher thing, maybe I'd have a little bit of a different thing. But you did the stretcher to write him off TV because you didn't know it was going to happen. The fact that he fucking damn near opened Dynamite with that open mic promo.
No wheelchair, no neck brace, no nothing.
Yeah, shit has been worked out. We got a storyline now.
Yeah.
The big question is, what's a shoot? What's a shoot? What's a work? So, CJ, I'm gonna start with you. The meet and greet, was it a shoot or a work?
I think that was done on purpose. 100%.
I disagree. 100%.
I mean,
it's okay. We're going to disagree.
It's absolutely fine.
I've just heard from way too many people that I want to believe that's the only thing that was a shoot. He said, fuck your meet and greet. Go ahead.
I think it is a work so that you have what most people are having is that disbelief of, is it real? Is it a work? I think.
Then why the stretcher?
I believe he was going to be going.
No, I agree with you on that part, but I truly feel that they worked out whatever needed to be worked out prior to Double or Nothing. And I mean, it's no secret that he's been unhappy. And I feel that he is worth everything that he says he's worth. I brought this up to Blaze before we went on.
Yeah, we went at it for a little bit. It's a conversation where as soon as it comes up, we're talking. So go ahead.
And oh shit, I lost my train of thought when you popped that up on the screen.
But look, this is what I'm talking about. These two are disagreeing just like me and you. That's the biggest thing. Is the meeting good? Good. Get it out.
Yeah. Let me get it out while I have it.
Go for it.
I feel that what Tommy Dreamer said on Busted Open is the best thing that you could say. Is he worth more money? Yes. But you signed a contract saying that you'll do this for this amount of time. So, yeah, you could be unhappy, but do your fucking job. And when you are due for a raise, then, yeah, you should get that raise. But if you're bitching and moaning and complaining, which I don't think he is, I think, yes, he is, but in a storyline scenario that you're in breach of contract, so you don't get paid. You don't show up, guess what? You don't fucking get paid.
Look, just to highlight my thing before Doc throws in, all I want to say is this. The meet and greet thing is fucked up. As somebody put it in the comments, fans waiting for hours.
Yeah.
On MJF's thing, what does he have to lose in a shoot scenario by blowing off the fan meet and greet?
Oh, I agree.
Either you get sidelined.
But you think that Tony Khan and them agreed to that?
No,
this
is what I'm saying.
This
is what I'm saying.
How can't
in MJF's mind, if I blow up this meet and greet and he fucking fires me, then I'm a free agent. And it's a bidding war. If he sidelines me, then I'm gonna go sit at home and collect my fucking downside guarantee until I can sign somewhere else. Or it's gonna bring him to the fucking table to renegotiate. There's 3 scenarios, and in none of those scenarios does MJF lose. So that's why I think that was shoot, and that's why I think he probably agreed to have a sit down with Tony prior to the Double or Nothing match. Tony does the Booker thing to do, which is book himself a way out of MJF with the stretcher just in case. Otherwise, there's no purpose for that fucking stretcher to show up at Double or Nothing. Doc, back me up here. I know you're thinking what I'm thinking.
I am. And I will say this, though. I am going to throw a little wrench into the meet and greet, just a little one. Yes. Do I feel like the meet and greet was a shoot? Yes. Do I feel that possibly a flight delay? Yes. I feel that he tried his best. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. For some reason, I can't hear myself. All right. So
mine does that once in a while, too. I think it's something with the program.
All right, it's no problem. Sorry, guys. What I'm saying is I feel like the meet and greet could have got delayed because Samoa Joe wasn't able to show up either.
He was double booked.
Scheduling problem.
Oh, okay. He was all right. So here's my thing. There was a very intriguing article on Fightful Select. McBride sent it to me, so shout out to him. That talks about how the promo was designed to gain a polarizing reaction, and it did just that. However, they talked about how his situation from the company with most talent. There was a lot of AEW talent that contributed to this article saying It's always been a work on MJF's side to, well, definitely a work now. Well, it's definitely a work now. Some of them said, oh, it's always been a work. And some of them said, well, shit, it's a work now.
Yeah.
So basically, a lot of talent said they found out the situation had been a work any further than this weekend. They talked about how the talent both talked to MJF and Tony Khan in confidence in an effort to learn more about the issues, and which all by accounts, the issues that were mentioned in that interview was a legit him shooting, just like CM Punk did when Vince handed him the mic and said, you know what, fuck it, go for it, see what you got. Calling H a dunderhead and all that stuff. They were not prepared for that shit.
Yep. Bring realism in. Yep. Good.
And I know Vince probably said to CM Punk, okay, when you're about done, bring what are you going to say? What's the line that I'm allowed to cut this mic off on you? And when he said, well, I'll mention the bullying thing, because that was a big thing for Vince. Vince wanted that to skyrocket with WWE.
Star.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As soon as he said be a star and mentioned what happened, guys, boom, it cut. If you look at that, he probably said, Tony, I'm going to call you a fucking mark and say, fire me. And then I'm going to say one or two little sentences on this key word, cut me. That's what you do in a promo. And CJ could back me up. DH could back me up because they've both been in the wrestling business. I'm going to say this sentence. I've seen what a promo is. Whenever a wrestler's looking at a piece of paper and the sound guy has a sentence and it says, if you feel me now, come out for my title, or whatever the sentence is, when that wrestler says that sentence, that sound guy is to hit that music and make sure that person who's coming out to counteract with this promo does. Or the opposite with MJF, cut his mic and shut them lights down. However, what really gave that promo a lot of persistence, and if people want to disagree with me in the chat, that's fine. Did you notice when they came back, what didn't they talk about?
They didn't talk. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They completely.
That's a great point.
Because they want you to still think it's a fucking shoot.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're gonna ride it as much as they can, and I don't blame them now.
They completely treated it like Marilyn Monroe's body, like a Kennedy, and threw it under the fucking dirt. That's exactly what they did.
I'm glad that a lot of it was hidden. We don't know where that gray line is. Became shoot, work, shoot. That they did hide it because you have to nowadays with social media. Go ahead, Ray.
2 points I want you guys to think about. Tony Khan has been on record as saying who is his favorite booker of all time.
Paul Heyman, probably, right?
Is this not a Paul Heyman type storyline?
Definitely.
Oh, 100% it is.
2, what we didn't see on TV was that when they went to commercial, Punk's music hit, and Punk chased him off through the crowd. If legit MJF goes off script and calls Tony Khan a fucking mark and screams "fire me," is it CM Punk coming out in storyline in between that, or is it security coming to throw MJF's ass out of the building?
It's security.
Yeah,
you are correct, sir.
So we did.
But I love it. I love every bit of it.
Yeah,
me too. I'm
hooked. It's gold. It's gold right now.
And my friend was in
pro wrestling.
My friend was in, and my friend from LA, Jason from that wrestling podcast, was in the crowd at the Forum. He said he's never seen a hotter crowd. And he said it was one of the hottest crowds.
Anthony was there too. That was on this show. Tony Hansen.
Yeah,
and what
Tony
was
Hansen.
He was there.
What he said was, he says to me, he goes, a lot lately has not got me. He goes, this, and just like Ray said, I'm invested. I'm interested. This is what has, completely enticed me.
I think the big thing is that we really don't know if it's a work or a shoot.
No,
and you know what? The good part about it is work or shoot, everybody fucking wins with this.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And props to the Kia Forum, dude. That not only was that a hot ass crowd last night, as Doc alluded to from Jason, but the setup they had in there too looked really cool. Having that upper deck so tight, you know what I mean? Like with the couple rows, there was only like 10 rows between the ring and the first deck. Really made it seem like fucking grand scale.
Yeah,
there only being I think it was 17,000 in there or something like that. It looked really cool on TV.
Little sidebar, and I've always said this for indie shows, and I think this is kind of where you're alluding to, is whenever there's all those open seats, maybe someone bought front row and didn't come, push people up and give them those front row fucking seats so everything's all crowded in that, and it seems like there's more people there.
And you definitely get, with them being that tight, unlike a regular stadium where you have 30 rows before.
Right.
It seemed like the sound really echoed, and the energy in that room was huge.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I enjoyed it.
So I have a weird feeling that MJF will come up again in tonight's. I'm pretty sure it will because I know there's a spot where he's going to come back up. So
Cool.
Wardlow got the win with all the power bombs, and yes, out on a stretcher was MJF. Does anybody else want to add anything about the actual match where we're going? Because we will come back to it. We are coming back to it.
It's fucking Wardlow's world.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Bucks and the Hardys. There's been mixed reports.
Goddamn shame.
Match, and we know that Hardy is injured and Cole was injured after this show too. So good, CJ.
It was good. It wasn't my favorite, and I had a friend of mine who was also in the business that messaged me, and I didn't catch it. Did Jeff seem like he was on something or a little bit out of it?
Yes, but from what I've read, what bugged me, Doc and I noticed that his boots were undone the whole fucking match, which bugged the shit out of me. He had opportunities to roll out and fix them. But from what I've read, they're saying he was clean, but they're saying that he's so injured, but he didn't want to ruin the pay-per-view match. Mm-hmm. That's why he was pulled from Dynamite. That's right. They're saying that he has a severe ankle and shoulder injury, which if you watch the match, make a lot of sense. He was struggling to get to the top rope. His balance looked off, and he was bumping weird, which is what made me think he was under the influence. But CJ, as you and I both know, if you're trying to protect the shoulder, you're going to take a hip bump instead of a flat back bump.
And
everything hurts.
And being in the new job that I'm in, I really don't think that he was on anything. I think it's exactly what you said. It was injuries, because I personally spoke to him quite a good bit when we had him here at Rostraver Ice Gardens a few weeks ago, and he was totally cool as a cucumber, man.
Yeah,
I don't know, guys. Here's what I saw.
Something good, Doc.
Here's what I saw. I mean, when he first come out, I even told Ray was right beside me. Ray, didn't I say, man, what's with his demeanor, like his face, he looked like he had a glazed over look. I'm not saying he did, and like by any means, because there's a lot of people in right now in this group that has been under the influence more than I have. What I'm saying to you is this:
guilty.
I mean, one thing to think about, Doc, that you and I didn't take into account.
What was that?
If he was that injured,
if
his ankle was bothering him that bad, that explains maybe why the boot wasn't tightened, because maybe it was wrapped, maybe the boot didn't fit right. Because wrestling boots are cut to fit you to a fucking fit.
I always tied mine as tight could be, to the point of cutting off my circulation. Exactly.
It protects your ankles. But if you had that wrapped, or maybe it was too swollen,
he's not going to be able to, like you said.
Yeah. The second thing is right before you go out, any of us that are of the, let's say, later age persuasion and work badges.
All right.
So, like, for instance, when I made my small return 10 years ago or whatever at RWA, I had to stretch vigorously before going through the curtain, because I knew I couldn't move. I knew I couldn't take the bumps the way I used to and all that, which the adrenaline hits you when the music hits. But let's just say Hardy's behind the curtain stretching the shit out of it, knowing he has to get through a 25-minute match with probably two of the most athletic guys in wrestling. I bet when he came through that curtain, he was probably in so much fucking pain until that adrenaline kicked in.
Here, if I could jump in, here's my only thing. Let's say that's the case, which 99.99% it was. Have him do limited shit. You could still have a fucking good match and not have him try all of his normal stuff.
But do you think he's injured? I was gonna say, do you think maybe he kind of ballsed up and was like, "This is the pay-per-view. This is the dream match against the Bucks." I think he was
it out.
Here's my thing with that though. 10 years ago, I'd say but I think they've done a damn good job of making sure that their wrestlers are taking care of their health and whatnot. So
Sting, for a prime example, Sting.
Here's an issue though, and I'm not knocking Matt. Matt's character work and promos at this point in his career are the best they've ever been. But Matt has been extremely limited in the ring for a decade plus now.
Right. I think he's underrated, but
his hip problems are well noted. And through their entire run, Jeff took the heat. Jeff took the thing, and then Matt was the hot tag guy. And
he smells horrendous.
And you know better than anybody, those of us that work, that, when you start going through those matches, it wasn't even in Jeff's head how bad he was hurt. It was probably like, okay, we're going to do this spot, then we'll roll to this. Bucks are going to hit this. And it's like, yeah, we're good. You know what I mean? Like,
until you're not.
Yeah, until you're not. And the match looked sloppy for the first 10 minutes, but I felt like the ending, like once Jeff got the adrenaline pumping, he fought through it. But I think
so kudos to him.
Yeah, I think they need to keep him off and let him heal, though. I mean, that match with Darby, and apparently he had an angle issue from the Bobby Fish match that he's been fighting through.
He struggled though. He struggled walking out with him for a minute. If you noticed, he did walk out last night, and he kind of had. You could see he was just in immense pain. So, I mean, like I said in the beginning, I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit. We all speculated it because like the way he just his face, man, his face, like he just did not look like he wanted to be out there either.
And again, the more we talk about it, I think it had nothing to do with his past demons or what have you. I think he just needs to take time and recuperate and recover, and that's fine.
Yeah, if you listen, they were on the Jericho podcast this past week, and Jeff actually said he's working more now because of Matt being greedy and them doing all these indie shit than he was in WWE whenever he left.
Yeah, Matt's always been the money guy. Hey, let's do this and make a buck.
Yeah, so that might be why, too. I mean, he might be working and not getting a chance to let those injuries heal. But in my opinion, the TV matches are the more important thing. I mean,
absolutely.
Your bookings are only going to be as good as your TV matches are. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. They're an established name. It probably doesn't matter as much to them, but I think they need to scale back and heal up a little bit if they're going to keep this kind of run going.
Yeah.
Well, we knew we weren't getting the Hardys of old, but we got the dream match and the Hardys.
I don't think it's over.
Ray's the only one that
picked
it.
Over.
Ray's the one that picked it. He picked the Hardys to win. Everybody else picked the Bucks. So the Hardys got I was surprised the Hardys got to win, but I was happy too. I mean, like we talked about last week, it was a dream match, so we knew it was it was going to be a decent match. But the whole Jeff Hardy thing was a weird. He was off.
It's going to pay off in the ladder match.
Yeah. Jade defends against Anna Jay, and I think the big story with this is after the match, the arrival of Athena, Ember Moon. I was real happy to see her.
I actually was pleasantly surprised about this.
And then to see Malcolm Bivens, now Stokely Hathaway, come out to be her new voice to take over for Sterling. So I think there's good moves for Jade, even though we've talked about her. And I don't think she should have a title yet. She could still be 32-0 and have that whole streak thing going. But she's getting better every week, I think. What do you think, Doc?
I think Jade's getting better. I feel that the match was subpar. I mean, don't get me wrong, bringing it up with, of course, Stokely coming out and then Athena. Great addition to that match. That's all I got for this.
See, you're not gonna believe I'm saying this, but I think she looked the best that she has in a while. Jade Cargill. Like, I love that finish. If I remember correctly, and forgive me, my brain's fucking scrambled. She did the jaded, like, off of the second rope, which she's tried before, and it did not look good. I think it looked fucking phenomenal.
It was, it looked good. I mean, Anna Jay did well. Like, I mean, it took them time to connect a little bit. I mean, you could see that they're prepared, but it looked good.
Sloppiness in the beginning, but it seemed like as the match went on, I think they got better.
I think
now they already fought in late January too, so you think that they've been in the ring a little more. They're getting used to each other. Jade's getting better, so hopefully we'll see how she goes.
And like that late January match, I can't recall much about it, so I definitely would say this one was the better of the two for sure, which is good. They're showing improvement, both of them.
Yep.
I like Jade Cargill. I won't sit here and deny it.
I do too.
Me too. I'm a fan.
She right now
I want her to be great. I want her to be great in the ring.
Guys, I hate to say this. Like right now, poor Jade Cargill is the 5-figure death punch and Nickelback of professional wrestling. It's just cool to hate her.
Yeah.
So like no.
You're just mad because you got a little crushy crush.
I got a little what?
A little crushy crush.
Hey, you leave that part alone. Don't judge me. Anyway.
Speaking of crushing, there was some crushing going on in this match. Death Triangle and House of Black.
Match of the night.
Yeah, good.
Same here. Match of the night.
I would say between this and the tag match.
That's the only one I would put up there too, and another one for different reasons.
I definitely thought this was better. Look, I love the match. I love the chemistry. I love the spots. I think Death Triangle is a great stable, great workers, but the House of Black just take it to another level. And as Buddy Murphy is getting comfortable, and they're learning to work together. It's just getting better.
And it was badass. They looked badass. They looked really like. What do you guys think about the adding to Julia Hart at the end?
Love it. I love it.
Too. I was waiting for it. It's about time.
It's just, in my opinion, 6 months too late. Like it should have happened already.
And try not so much to copy the Alexa Bliss look.
Another thing too,
the hair, the double pick did look a little bit like it. Yeah,
I will
give her black hair or something, for goodness sakes. Good.
Well, they may. I mean,
I'll say this. I'll say about the Julia Hart thing. They should have had her turn on Pillman, and that made more sense.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, but I did like it. I'm happy she's in there now. Let's see what she can do. Maybe
we all picked House of Black to win, and that's what happened. So let's talk about Joe and Cole. I saw so much foreshadowing. As soon as he came out in the black and the pink, I was like, and then she came out in the black and the pink. I was like, we're getting the old king and queen of the prom, aren't we? CJ,
we're getting the new it couple.
It couple.
I really enjoyed it. I saw some people rambling. Oh, well, Adam Cole is so much smaller than him. It's not believable that he can beat Joe.
Oh,
you're full of shit. It's definitely believable that he can beat Joe.
100%.
Especially with Joe's injury that they're working on TV.
The pipe to the shoulder, yep.
I think it was a good match. Do I think they could do better? Yeah. And I'm sure they'll tell you the same fucking thing. But it was solid, man. I have no complaints whatsoever.
Well, apparently,
am I the only one that hates the metal pipe spot? Does anybody else hate the metal pipe spot because it looks like a piece of fucking PVC? You can tell when someone's holding a real heavy pipe in their hand. Come on, like a big cast iron pipe or something. When they're wielding this little thing. Yeah, well, I'm talking about holding pipe in your hand. From the side.
No one has more experience than that than you, Greg.
So, Ray, what did you take on the Joe Cole match and him walking? Adam
Cole got injured about halfway through, and you could see that timing kind of went a little bit off. In my opinion, working Joe the way he's working right now, Joe is back to his early impact ROH hard hitting style. It's the same thing we saw Daniel Bryan do. Mm-hmm. The problem is if you don't have a guy that works snug like that, then it comes off weird. That's why the Johnny Impact match was weird. Now, Cole tried to keep up with him, and I think he did a better job than some of the others we've seen. But I really, as much as I love Adam Cole, and I do, I don't want to see Joe and Cole. I want to see Joe and O'Reilly. I want to see somebody else who's going to slug the shit out of him back and not work finesse, because that's when Joe thrives. That's when Joe gets into the match, and we really see his best work. So I think the right choice was made for the victor. I did pick Joe to win because I hate jobbing out a champion, even though it's a tournament. But I get why. I mean, you have the storyline to play it off. Everything it's fine. Yeah. But I think if they worked another match with more storyline build, it would be a little better, because then at least you could play into the storyline a little more. Whereas this was just, a one-off spot match. Yep. But I also, like I said, I really want to see Joe versus guys who fucking throw. Like him and O'Reilly, him and, anybody who's a hard hitter, him and Lance Archer. Those are the matches I want to see with Joe. I want to see somebody else that's going to knock the piss out of him and let him come right back at it.
Here's a quick question I'll pose to all three of you. Did it deliver, though? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else to add for this one there, Doc? Anything specific?
No, like I said, I really enjoyed the match. I love the fact that he beat Joe. I mean, pretty much right in the middle of the ring. However, if you watch the promo that they filmed after with Jay Lethal and I forget the bigger dude.
Satnam
Singh.
Yeah, and of course Sanjay Dutt with that chair to it. When he hit his shoulder and he reached out in pain, you still had that Destroyer Joe look, but you had that kind of withholded back Destroyer Joe. I'm gonna fucking kill you when the shoulder comes back. As far as I'm concerned, I loved it.
Yeah, I dig it. There's way too much, and this is outside of our circle, criticism on both these guys that they're not being used right here, and I think they are.
I disagree.
Everybody can't be at the top. Sooner or later, these two are the best of the business, and it was good to see them in the final go through that. Let's talk about the ladies, and now, like I said, with Easy E was the only one that picked.
No, I picked Britt.
No,
yes,
you.
EJ picked Britt.
Yeah, CJ and Easy.
CJ's gonna pick Britt no matter what the match is.
Did you guys see it coming from a mile away too? Because Cole wanted she was dressed like him. Did you see that coming?
As soon as Ray, back me up. So what did I say when for Britt come out? I went, fuck.
Like,
I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a done deal. So she came out thinking black.
You know what I like that they did though is have them both play their music live. That was a pretty cool.
I love the entrances. I love when they do stuff like that.
I'm a big
Fozzie's guitar player, right? Fozzie's
guitar that was player? Rich Ward. Fozzie's guitar
Yeah, you
player.
want to talk about somebody that was on something? It was that fucking guy.
Oh, Rich Ward, leave him alone. No,
I fought for Rancid too. I was like,
for sure.
The whole crew there rocking the song. I love it. Like
Rancid is old as hell now. Wow, I just shook the shit out of me. No more Mohawks, man. I was like,
you gotta explain to kids these are punk rock guys. Like when we were younger, they looked real.
Doc, you can't have a mohawk with a bald spot.
Do you remember Bodie's comment? He's like, oh, I thought they were younger. I about lost it. He's like, I thought they were younger. I was like, buddy, I saw Rancid when I was like 19. He goes, oh, then they're definitely old. I was like, oh, little shit.
Whoa, why are you skipping past that, bruh?
We got we got 14 matches here. Speaking of that, let's talk about it now. Do you guys think the show is too long? That's a big talking point.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big talking point right now. The show's too long. I'm sorry. And I agree. I mean, the total of 5 hours, if you're sitting there through the whole thing, was.
Here's my quick little sidebar on this. They both delivered. I think it was better than their match that they had at Arthur Ashe.
Definitely better.
So,
and apparently we're going to see a lot more of it now because based on the Dynamite, this is going to be a feud here going forward.
What do you guys think of the belts made after the old Stampede Wrestling Championship?
I dig it. I
thought they were cool.
Very cool belts. Mm-hmm. All right. And we're moving on now to another match. We're going to buzz through a couple of these, I'm sure.
This one I got nothing. I was actually driving home from my buddies, so I didn't really get to see it.
Yeah, I was taking a shit during half of it too, to be honest. So
I think this is when he left. So thank you, this match. I'm sure.
I hear Paige Van Zandt did really well, so that's good.
Yeah, the main takeaway I think from this match is Paige looked good for the limited experience she has.
Mm-hmm.
I think Scorpio and Paige are money. I wish they would do more with Paige.
Mm-hmm.
I love Scorpio. I hope he keeps the belt and keeps running this for a while. I love Lambert.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Lambert, though. Even my 7-year-old loves Lambert.
I like the infighting with Frankie and Sammy because it makes sense. Like, everybody hates Sammy right now. And finally, the commentary team during this match admitted it, that they are not America's most loved couple, that they're the most hated people in AEW.
They're milking it so much, though. You saw Adam Cole and Britt do a little smooch when they won. Those two were, they had their tongues down each other's
they were like...
I will never take away Sammy's ability as an athlete and a performer, but I'm fucking over it.
Yeah, they're gonna make.
My main thing is I would really love to see what would happen if Paige Van Zandt took this seriously, because at this point she looked really good for the limited experience.
I think she is taking it seriously. She's been training with Gangrel.
She made comments. I don't know if anybody else read this. That if you want me at a show, it better be pay-per-view money. That's not the attitude for somebody one match into your career.
Agreed. Wow. But could they be telling her to say shit like that?
Yeah, they could be.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, we know the marketing genius that is Dan Lambert. So
I wouldn't take that for more than what it is.
Well, time will tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Work. It's a shoot work. Short.
Everything's a fucking work.
She's a fucking 10. She's beautiful.
Yeah,
she does have the whole potential.
Her Instagram, if you're ever lonely, never mind.
Oh, geez. Let's move on to the next one.
Off the bottles of Pharrell there.
Right, we did mention this a little earlier, and the reason this match got added real late as well, so we didn't pick it. But
this was added because they wanted to make sure that the main event didn't start before the end of Game 7.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
and they bought the extra hour to allow Martha Hart more time to talk without. She was not timed or given a.
And she also was not able to lift that trophy up.
No, she was not.
They talked about a lot. Did you guys see the scrum after?
I watched bits and pieces of it.
Because Tony did try to justify the 5 hours too. He was, just to play the other side of the coin. He was talking about Vegas and 5 hours, and you hardly ever get a title fight in boxing or UFC that late. And he tried to justify.
Right.
He had good points.
But
he had good points, but 5 hours is still long.
For me, it was long.
Yeah. So anybody on this match at all?
Great match.
Decent.
I think the ending was kind of surprising to me. Just
I agree.
He need the fuck out of him and took him out.
It felt a little bit out of place to me.
If they're going to push Kyle O'Reilly, get him some other big matches, maybe he could fight for the ROH TV title against Samoa Joe and give Ray the match he wanted to see. Stuff like that.
It's really cool when your 7-year-old throws a fit in the middle of your best friend's house.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how'd Bodie take this one?
Well, he was sitting beside he's E's son, and E's son's a huge O'Reilly fan, right?
Oh,
so when it happened,
he
said something. I had to put Bodie in almost in a chokehold just to keep him in his seat because he literally wanted to just walk out. Like he was like, I was like, afterwards, we were driving home, I said, how was it? He goes, it was fun. He goes, E's son's just like him. I was like,
so the rivalry's gone generational now.
Yes,
right?
it is. It's going generational. It's getting uglier.
Family Services, Doc did not put him in a chokehold. It was just a very secure
do not call CYS.
Anybody, Ray, anything to add on Darby and Kyle?
I like the match.
I did
Their
too.
styles mesh well together. They're both great workers. Darby's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah. Of course he is.
Mad they added it. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't. Okay. There was no reason for this to be on pay-per-view. That was my only thing.
I think
like you said, the reason was the NBA game. Like he legit said,
it was a filler match.
He said he wanted to have the main event after the NBA games are over.
I would have rather seen Hook and Danhausen on the main card,
and put this on the opener.
Storyline to it. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
I agree. I have no complaint.
The only thing about this was it was kind of a Darby's attempt for redemption. Excuse me, because he didn't win against Kyle. Yeah, for Sting.
Yeah.
But while again, Sting's in the Bahamas, probably sipping a Mai Tai.
That whole storyline though only played out in 2 weeks, whereas the Hook and Danhausen thing's been building.
For months.
I mean, hell, we saw it in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Really. Yes, sir.
Hook, come out here now. Danhausen wants to talk to you. I get it.
I was kind of upset. I thought maybe Thunder Rosa after this was going to get used a little more, but she wasn't on Dynamite at all. Not even a promo or nothing. So. But she could have promo or something.
How about that gear?
As long as she has her taco vlog.
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gear was hot. She had weird squigglies on her bubble.
You know what though? E kind of hit it on the head. I'll actually agree for something he said for once. He said Thunder Rosa looked like something out of Coco. And I'm not. As soon as they wrestled, all I could think about the whole time is "Remember Me."
And I just clue what you're talking about.
It's a song in the Disney movie Coco.
Yeah,
trust me, I watched Disney a lot. Outside of wrestling,
I thought this was really good.
It was a good match.
I've always been very high on Serena Deeb, and I think the same of Thunder Rosa. I thought they did a hell of a job. Maybe I would have placed it a little bit differently on the card. But I would have maybe put it a little bit earlier, but that's me.
I'm a big
I agree. It
should have been earlier. Yeah. Could have been earlier. All right.
Thanks, Walter.
There's like 13 matches here, but we have 6 only for Hell in a Cell. That's the good news. Oh, I forgot to give you guys the good news. I gave you the bad news that Easy E won the thing. The good news is the fact that we have another fucking pay-per-view this Sunday, so we could take
Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
Saturdays,
Impact, right?
No, NXT in your house.
Oh, the in your house. Let's talk about this. A different match, a lot of blood, a lot of gore, good camera work.
I gotta disagree with you on the camera work. I would say match. I said I disagree with you on the camera work. Well, it was good. What I would have liked would have been like a split screen type of deal.
That's a good idea.
Following each, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they could do that for Domino's Pizza. You see what that got them.
And
thanks, Nick Gage.
I loved my favorite spot of the entire fucking match was Jericho fucking ripping out the fake soundboard to stop the music.
Yeah, the music. I love that salute they were saying by playing the music long.
But I did not want to hear it the entire fucking match.
I disagree on that because me and Ray were losing it, laughing our ass off, and they forgot to turn the music off.
One or two times, okay, but so that's why my favorite spot was Jericho.
I think they should have played into it. I think they should have got rights for Natural Born Killers for one night.
That would have been great.
Through the arena.
Yeah. You have to admit, I say this to me, like I said, the House of Black, that was the first match of the night. This was second match of the night for me. It was very entertaining. It just showed like so much hatred with these guys, and they sold it so well, especially, Eddie Kingston coming out. I think half of us is called an implosion. Yeah. Dumping that gasoline, saying, you know what? I don't really give a fuck if Brian Danielson catches on fire. And that's starting that implosion.
Another thing was fucking Brian saying, "I'm gonna kick his fucking face off."
Yeah, right at the end. Yeah, yep.
Look,
literally like
more...
close enough. You knew that was going to be on the screen. He said it nice and loud.
Exactly what I thought would happen happened in this match. If you listened to last week's podcast,
Yes,
the match was way better than I thought it would be.
Agreed.
Everything these guys touch turns to gold. Menard is highly underrated for being entertaining as fuck.
I fucking love him. I think
he's hilarious.
He bled the most too. He was the worst out of all of them. The bleeder. I don't know what the hell he took, but wow.
I knew as soon as they all were wearing white when they came out, it was going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
Walter, no disrespect. That's called attempted murder.
It's like they're keeping, but the AEW Easter eggs
are
good. I mean, we brought one up the little New Jack salute. I mean, those little Easter eggs, they have so many of them.
I dig it, man.
Entertaining. I'm
all about it.
We might have to try to pick out more of those as we go. We do more at a time.
So real quick,
go ahead.
Piggybacking off this, and I think it's next week or the week after. Who ends up being bald? Ortiz or Jericho?
That's not till July, I think.
2 weeks. I thought they said 2 weeks.
No, 2 weeks is blood and guts.
Oh. I think it's Jericho because he's losing his hair. He's got the male pattern right back here.
Yeah, actually, I said to Doc during Blood and Guts, one time Jericho came up and then the comb over was really parted. And I was like, holy shit, is that a comb over? And Doc was like, oh my God.
I tell you what, hair issues aside, he's in the fucking best shape of his fucking career.
Well, especially because like not too long ago, he did look like he was losing it. And he was getting bigger.
I don't think they cut his hair, especially him going on tour. Why would he go?
He had some legit health issues.
A bald head is metal as fuck. Yeah. Look, Ortiz can shave his head, but there's no real payoff for that. The entertainment of the storyline is Jericho getting his head shaved. Mm-hmm. And Jericho can go back, he can rock the bald thing and make it into a big fucking to-do, wearing wigs. And remember how when Angle got his head shaved? And he was wearing the headgear and shit? Yeah. Like Jericho would play that shit up, and then he could go back to the short hair. If you look at Jericho's hair, that shit is damaged as fuck from being dyed over and over again. He probably wants to cut it short anyways. So
it's probably his idea. As many times he's come up with ideas. But to me, the only thing, and it's leading to a Blood and Guts, but Blood and Guts just didn't have the same oomph as War Games.
Yeah.
So we got Regal to say it, but it just didn't hit like War Games would. So this is going to go into the cage.
I mean, it'll be good.
I'm a War Games mark. I mean, I'll be a mark if that's the big word for right now.
Let's be honest.
If I have to be.
So we're all fucking marks.
Yeah, Chaos Kelly, much respect. Judas Priest.
Yes, there you go. Tag team match, which CJ mentioned, and this is definitely in the top two of the fights. I still can't between. It was a great. Remember when I mentioned last week? I said if we get anything like the singles triple threat we had for the tags, and we did. The only thing is, I wanted a new champ. Doc,
I did too.
I liked it, but I mean, for some reason, I saw the biggest Luchasaurus fan cheer against him for the first time ever. And I could not believe that my 7-year-old cheered against Jurassic Express. And of all things, I wanted Keith Lee and Swerve to win. I was so about it, and so was my son. And I was like, "Why?" He goes, "It's not their turn anymore. Let someone else have it." I was like, "All right." He's like, "I don't hate Jungle Boy in this." But you see a big turn with Christian in this, man. They are just stirring the pot.
But are they doing that too long, like we said about the Julia Hart thing?
No. Slow burn.
I actually am going to slightly disagree in the sense that I think the right move would have been for Christian to cost Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus the belt, specifically Jungle Boy. I think he should have tried to cheat in their favor, making Christian the heel where we know he's comfortable with shit. Mm-hmm. They could have lost the belts to a new team to freshen things up. We could have saw a Jungle Boy and Christian Cage feud. That might be where we're going because Christian Cage and Jungle Boy would have phenomenal matches. And obviously Luchasaurus could play into that by buffering and things like that. But I really love Swerve and Lee as a tag team. We talked about why. I'm really impressed with Hobbs and Starks too. Me too. I mean, those guys are fucking phenomenal. I would have been fine, honestly, with either team winning.
Same, 100%.
Here's where
I just kind of feel like Jurassic Express is in a holding pattern right now, waiting for the turn. Which
I think we talked about it last week. There's too many great tag teams for them to still have those fucking titles. Good, CJ?
I think the right team won, and this was my match of the night.
You and Easy picked it. You and Easy said Jurassic Express would retain.
And I think you guys,
great shout.
I think you guys would agree with me. I don't care a damn bit about his size. Jungle Boy is a fucking star, man.
Without question.
Yeah. He's the fucking future of this business.
Yes,
and yes, I am a huge fucking mark for him. So be
That's
it.
cool. I mean, look, Anna Jay, I'd mark for him too.
He's definitely a pillar. He's going to be a star if he keeps in the pace. And I'm loving Keith Lee and Swerve. The promo they cut the other night too.
Yeah,
I'm loving those two. And they even said, like I said, it's the old Michaels and Scott Hall. I mean, Scott Hall and Diesel type thing. You got both of them can do singles, but they can also fight. I mean, Michaels and Diesel. Jesus, I mean, you know what I meant.
Yeah, we know exactly what.
But they even mentioned it too. We can go singles. We can do the singles things. We can do the tag team thing. I'm glad they addressed it. Those two are gold. Let's talk about the main event, CJ.
I think we all picked Punk, if I'm correct.
Yep, we did. We all picked Punk.
I thought it was good. It had good storytelling, and I don't know if you guys, I'm sure had seen it, but after it went off the air, FTR came to the ring, and Punk was like, "Yeah, remind me to never try the buckshot Larry again." and you know what? Even though he blew that spot twice, I think he played it off very well with the leg injury and whatnot, and showing the fatigue. So I was okay with it, even though we know, being in the business, that it was a blown spot. I was okay with it, man.
I hate really people focus on botches and botching it. People are human. They may make mistakes. I mean, and he shouldn't be able to hit it as good as Hangman Page.
No, absolutely not.
So he did sell it well. Ray, what do you think of the main event?
Well, I think a lot that had to do with the botch too. If you remember, the ring was taken apart 2 matches prior.
True.
Yep. And I actually made
with the ropes.
Yeah,
I actually made the comment to Doc that whenever Punk got in the ring, that the top rope was. Obviously, we've been around enough rings to know when the shit's loose and it's vibrating too much.
Yeah,
that top rope was loose, which gives you more sink and less spring. So to do the buckshot lariat, you have to get over with a full front flip, land on your feet with enough momentum to bring the clothesline forward. That's kind of hard when those ropes are loose.
Yeah,
I mean, CJ, you've obviously went off the top rope 100 times. You did springboard moves. You're a fucking authority when it comes to that. When that shit's loose, it fucking sucks.
Oh, it's the fucking worst. And was it a blown spot? Yeah, but like you just mentioned, it was because of more than likely.
So. Me being a fat guy who used to do a moonsault, I was about 275, 280 whenever I was doing the moonsault spot. And I remember an indie show where I got to the top rope and I was like, oh fuck. Yeah. So I switched to a Vader bomb with no hands and took the worst bump on my balls ever because they rolled out of the way but not fast enough and left their hand hang, and my junk hit their fist, and it sucked so bad. But it was either that or I felt like I was going to break my goddamn neck because there was no way I was getting around.
Yep.
And that could have had something to do with it. Other than that, I love the match. The only problem I had was the pacing of the card. This was so late in the night.
Yeah.
So much shit has happened. Yep. After that Anarchy in the arena match, I felt like the crowd was fucking blown up. And then you hit them with the tag team match. And it's just so much. Like, I know that, and I am a purist in that I always think the world title should be the main event. Yeah. However, with something like the Anarchy in the arena, they could have called that an unsanctioned match.
True.
That match could have been dead last because it was after the pay-per-view card. And I feel like it would have came off a little bit better because Punk and Hangman, I felt, worked a great psychologically based main event match. They worked.
But like I said, this is Tony Khan's money match. Punk finally getting the title. He couldn't afford to have it during NBA. It was what he said, not me. I'm just repeating how he said.
I get it. I totally get it. But
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
that crowd was hot all night, and I just felt like the crowd let that match down. Yeah, because I think it's a better match than it came off as to me.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's 4. How many hours when we go and they do Dark, Rampage, and Dynamite? That's close to 5 hours too, isn't it?
Yeah, and by 10 o'clock, CJ, fuck this. Let's go sit in the truck.
Yeah. And here's my thing, and it's not going to happen because it's AEW, but like the indies I worked, I feel that no questions asked, a show should be no more than like 2.5 3 hours tops, but that's pushing it. 2.5, 2 hours 45.
Especially for an indie show. I agree.
You should start on time.
I think a pay-per-view show or something like this, 3 hours has always been 3 hours has always been the sweet spot. You want to add a match for the buy-in or whatever, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I get because they're doing quarterly pay-per-views, they feel like they should do it at 4 hours. But I just think 4 hours is too long. I really do.
We don't agree.
Give me 2 more matches on the buy-in that I don't care as much about.
True.
You're definitely getting your bang for the buck, though.
Yeah,
sure.
And that was the other thing that they were saying. If you're going to pay $50 or $70 or whatever it is for a pay-per-view, wouldn't you want the most content you can get? And I kind of get that too, but I don't want to be tired for the main event either. So I get both sides.
For $50, I can get Bang Bros for a month, dude. I'll pay for whatever.
So, Doc, main event and our title change, our new world champion, CM Punk. And this will tie right into our next segment. So let us know what you thought about this match, Doc.
I loved it. That's all I'm going to say. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the storytelling behind it. I enjoyed the fact that he got in his head. And, he kind of deteriorated and worked him down how many weeks and then finally got him. So, pure CM Punk from, when I remember. So
yeah, CM Punk, though, just for men cost $8.99, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Some of us all have that problem. You got to dye that shit, man.
We will be talking about CM Punk here as well as we carry right on to the next segment. All right, so this is where I think someone's name is going to pop back up that we talked about earlier tonight because I got 2 fantasy bookings for everybody. So our 2 cents tonight is twofold. The second one will be, and you guys in the live chat, I want you guys to let us know what dream match you wanted to see in the history of wrestling. Now, it has to be time sensitive. It had to have actually been able to really happen. Like pick a time period where 2 people did not fight and tell us in the live chat who you think that'll be. That'll be part 2. Part 1. We already saw on Wednesday night that CM Punk will fight Tanahashi at Forbidden Door. After that, who is Punk's first AEW opponent? Is it Samoa Joe? Is it Adam Cole, Danielson, Wardlow, MJF?
Let's all say it together. MJF.
So okay, we may have differences of opinion. Right now, the hottest name would be him. But it may be a longer payoff. Who knows, Ray? Let me know who you think. It could be someone other than those guys, too, obviously.
I don't think they should rush the MJF. Do I think ultimately that's who should take the title off of Punk?
Yes.
100%. But I don't want to see Punk be a one-and-done champion. I don't want to see him only have a couple title defenses. They need maybe 2 pay-per-views from now. Maybe we wait all the way till Revolution next year or Double or Nothing next year before he finally does it, which would also be right before his contract is really coming up or whatever. Look, we know he's getting, Tanahashi. That'll be a good match. If you haven't seen Tanahashi work, imagine Shawn Michaels, but Japanese.
Yeah, he's the ace. They were comparing him to like the John Cena of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the ace of New Japan, they call him.
The first title defense I want for Punk is against Malachi Black. I stated this last week on our thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think Punk now has allies with FTR, which gives you some of those matches to put together. Punk has come out and says he wants to win the trios titles with FTR. That would be some fantastic matches. Sign me up for Buddy Murphy and Brody King versus FTR. Sign me up for 6-man tags with those 6 guys. And sign me up for Malachi Black and CM Punk. And I don't think it hurts Malachi to not beat Punk. And they can fuck with him in a way that MJF didn't. The main feud we've seen for Punk since he's been back is MJF, which is verbal jousting, blah, blah, blah. We've then seen Adam Page with Punk where it's more about who's the face of the company. Now let's just see some shit where I'm going to torture your world. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different side we can see for Punk. A phenomenal match setup, phenomenal workaround that you can have, including FTR and the other members of the House of Black. And that could be a feud that I could see go into the next pay-per-view cycle, main evented with those 2 in a phenomenal match, and then move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm. I dig it. So 1 vote for Malachi Black, CJ, MJF. Doc, who do you think should be next after Tanahashi?
I was kind of on the Malachi Black train, but I'm going to go ahead with my number 2 pick, Jon Moxley. Just for the fact I don't feel that he should go for the belt, but I feel that with Moxley and what happened with him off the rehab, I feel the CM Punk could kind of, bring in that straight edge superstar motif. And I think that the promo work between those 2 would be phenomenal.
Man, I could see
even bringing back some of the past too.
I dig it.
Any of these scenarios are great.
Well, yeah, with the Shield and how CM Punk hired them, he could even bring that into present. Well, weren't you my bitch boy for a while? I mean, they could take the promo work with both of them and just go a mile.
No problem with it.
Like the other ones I said, Samoa Joe, the ROH TV champ. Him and Adam Cole. He just won a tournament. Danielson's name's always thrown in top tier, and Wardlow coming off of that, but he doesn't really need to get title.
Yeah, Wardlow needs to Wardlow needs to build more.
I feel like Danielson shouldn't be at the world title though until he wins it.
So, speaking of the world title,
after the kick down with Paige, though, I feel like you need to keep him away from the belt until it's time.
There you go.
So Punk Tanahashi is the one match that we know for Forbidden Door now. The other one that's already been talked about is Hangman going after the Okada and his title.
I heard that is not confirmed, but I would be for that match.
Yeah. And the other one that was a probable could happen is FTR got attacked by United Empire. So those two could be fighting as well too.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I can't wait the next couple of weeks to hear the matches that start to come forward for that. So part 2 is dream match of all time, and I'll start out. I picked Undertaker versus Sting, and I'm a huge Sting mark. I'm not a big Undertaker fan, but this is the dream match I wanted to see, in their prime, not nowhere close to now. But however, although I'm a huge Sting mark over Taker, I give Taker the win in match 3. I think it goes 3 matches. Sting gets a win in the middle, something that makes them want to fight again after the first one. And I have no problem the third one ending the way AJ Styles and Undertaker did, him burying Sting in a theatrical match or some shit. I mean, I think it could have been a great story with two of the biggest and baddest, and it never happened. It was teased a few times. So Undertaker Sting is definitely mine. Doc, I know you got a couple that you want to talk about, and I want to hear them. But CJ, what do you have one that you want to throw out?
CM Punk and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
Because
how did you play it out?
Why the fuck not? I actually would I would give the nod to Punk simply because I think you guys would agree with me, not taking away from Stone Cold and all that he's done. I just feel like CM Punk is a better all-around player. And
we're talking straight edge society Punk, right?
It would have to be a certain time period. It's got to be the same time. Yeah, that'd be great.
You didn't state that in the message, so I'm ignoring that caveat.
Yeah, me too.
I did.
No,
I said it has to be
in the same time period. Mine's not in the same time period.
I'm going CM Punk in his prime against Stone Cold in his prime.
What I would have loved to see about that is with the straight edge society, is Punk coming out and trying to be Austin's savior.
Yeah.
In the normal Stone Cold, what? And then he fucking stuns Gallows and throws him in a porta potty like gold. Like that could have been a fun, amazing feud and a great WrestleMania.
Yeah, it definitely could have been more than a one match type of ordeal for sure, like you just said.
But real quick, guys, if you think about it, like I said, I told you guys off air that then WWE All Stars, the video game, they had a promo thing. If you could look it up on YouTube or whatever, the way they set it up, the way they cut Punk talking to Austin talking to Punk, the way they set it up was so good. And you could just tell how great that would have been if that was actually a match.
It would have been phenomenal.
WWE All Stars, if I remember, that was the game.
That would be phenomenal. All right, Ray, let us know yours.
So
making me go last, you prick. All right.
Well, you did not put in the message that it had to be physically possible. Now mine is not that far off, but I want to see the 21-1 Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman as his mouthpiece. During that time when Paul Heyman was an invincible, ass kicker and running through everybody, versus the height of ECW Taz. You have a severely undersized Taz, who is a badass that has no fear for anybody, cutting promos against Heyman, who was his mentor for promos. And the promo work would have been phenomenal. And in the match, when Taz was in his prime, Taz would have been able to suplex Brock.
I fucking love it.
Taz has no problem throwing 911 around or anybody else, so he would have gotten around Brock. Brock works best with a smaller guy, as we've seen when he versed Bryan and Styles and Balor. I think they could have had a feud that we talked about for 20 fucking years had we had them at the right time frame to do so.
I'm not
I
mad at
fucking
that at
love
all.
that.
All right,
Thank
I'm gonna make Doc wait even longer because we're gonna look at some from the chat. Owen Hart versus Kurt Angle. We got Goldberg
Someone
versus
say,
Batista.
but on a dark match. Why would Angle versus Hart be on a dark match?
No, it has happened
Right?
before. It
It
happened
has,
before,
yeah.
but it was a dark match
I
when
was
it
gonna
happened.
say,
Yeah.
why is that your
Goldberg
fantasy?
versus Batista. CM Punk versus Omega.
I like that. I like
We're gonna
that.
see that one at some point.
Yeah.
Triple H versus Dean Ambrose.
I think I don't know if that's happened singles, but it's happened in like
Jared
6-man
versus Road Dogg.
tags.
That's your dream.
That's
definitely
already happened. That already
That's definitely
happened.
happened, Wally.
Whenever Road
Omega Cena.
Dogg came out as the singer, saying
when he was the roadie.
Jarrett. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of this one, I wanted to lead right
Yeah.
into it. I'm going to
There's
lead
a
right
good
into
one.
it. This is why I saw
Is
this,
that-
Doc.
Doc,
Yes,
is that one of yours?
That's why I did it, because I saw it coming up and I wanted to lead right into it. This was Doc's
Doc,
pick.
I know this is one of Doc's picks, so give us your setup of how you'd play this
Oh,
out.
Yeah, that's why I'm leading right into it.
I wanted to say it, but fuck me again.
No, it's not fuck you.
Yes, it is. Every
From
fucking time.
transition. It's a transition.
Oh, you're
I saw it
such
in
a
the chat.
dick.
I'm like, we could lead right
You're
into
at E
Doc's
status
pick.
right now, Blaze. E status. Okay, so this was my first pick. It was Styles versus HBK Clinton. Great pick. That's what I thought too. I think that Styles, HBK, if you look at HBK in his prime, those guys would be phenomenal in the match. I mean, it would just be insane. Pun intended. I almost said it. But I just love the way they worked, I think that it would even be methodical in some points, but it would be just, you would have a roller coaster of a match right there, these two. Another thing too, I did have a second pick. As soon as I saw him put that in the chat, I was like, please, Blaze, don't show that yet. But you did, because you're a dick.
You have some honorable mentions. That's why
yes, I do. Are you ready for some of my honorable mentions? Here's my list.
I want them all.
My number 2 match, which I was actually going to pull the switcheroo on after I saw, Clayton. No disrespect to Clayton. It's a great thing. Could you shut that fucking horn off? Okay.
Yes.
Battle of Canada's finest, Bret Hart versus Edge.
Oh, Hart and Edge.
I think Hart and Edge would be a really good one. Randy Orton versus The Rock, because if you notice, Rock did one no, it never happened. They argued, they had promos, but it never happened. You remember The Rock going? The Rock goes into the dressing room as a kid. He sees Randy Orton's kid. Bob Orton's kid. He goes to shake his hand. What's he say? Don't touch my little pony. Remember, you don't remember how he said "my pretty pony"? No one remembers that. No, okay.
that fell a little flat.
Okay, you said you had 10 of them, so keep.
I am.
Top 10 here. It's all
Hulk
you.
Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, that's a big
Just
one.
for the simple fact that everybody's wanted to see it. Yeah, you wanted to see the red, white, and blue, the Mr. Versus the beer swilling Attitude Era versus the 80s era. I think it would have been phenomenal. Fiend, not Bray Wyatt. Fiend versus The Undertaker. I feel that would have been a very dark match. It would have tested Undertaker's, Undertaker is the darkest of all.
Another dark match?
Are you done, Mr. Interruption over here? Okay,
I'm trying to easy you a little bit here.
Well, don't. Anyways, it's been nice without him. Trust me.
Wyatt was very easily perturbed.
Kurt Anger's old age. Listen to the man below me.
All
right.
Get off
What's your new wrestling gimmick? Cantankerous son of a bitch.
Bray Wyatt versus Aleister Black.
I
think that would be a good one. Randy Macho Man Savage taking on Chris Benoit. I feel that would be a very good match.
I'd like to see Savage and Guerrero.
Okay, I'm on an Eddie Guerrero kick a little bit, but I had Eddie Guerrero. Actually, Guerrero and Savage fought. I looked it up. They fought in a tag match. Yeah, he teamed up with. Yeah, that's a real good one, actually. Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels at Prime. I think that would have been phenomenal. Eddie Guerrero versus Kofi Kingston. I think they would have brought the house down. Yeah. Owen Hart versus Tyson Kidd. Just for the fact that you could have got some, hey, I bunked your sister. It would have been fun. And then last but not least,
hold on, just while you're on that one.
Yes.
What if we could have seen the new Hart Foundation with Harry Smith and Tyson Kidd versus Owen and Brett?
That would have been great.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah. That would have been
phenomenal, like passing the torch match. Or even Owen and Davey Boy and legit see like the family to family passing of the torch.
That's what I was thinking. Family feud, that would be great. And then last but not least, This match is a little bit airs apart, but it's something I think everybody's always thought about. Andre the Giant taking on the Big Show. Just for the fact that the Battle of the Giants.
For sure.
All right, there's my list.
Fest in nothing a ladder match.
Do you want my and there's a reason that I put this in my name is I didn't know if someone was going to take mine. But there was two that I thought about, the Brock and Taz, which was my first choice. But my second choice would be the franchise Shane Douglas, the man whose moniker I'm swiping, versus this has to include their stables. I want to see Shane Douglas with the triple threat, Candido and Bam Bam behind him, feuding with Ric Flair. NWA 4 Horsemen Ric Flair with Arn and Tully and Ole behind him. The promo work would have been phenomenal, and you have two such different vibes because while the franchise's promos were just as cocky as Flair's, they were for a whole different reason and a whole different vibe. And those two fucking hated each other. Those matches would have been phenomenally full of potatoes, and I would have loved every minute of it.
Speaking of potatoes, in the chat, they're saying Doc versus Ray. There's a reason I fucking commentate, dude. Seriously. God damn.
Doc versus Ray has happened on a drunken night. Doc loses that match every time.
Yeah. I never win. Like, I'm not good. I'm stupid enough to do it.
I'll get someone else. Lose.
Oh, everything loses. Every body part alive.
Yeah.
What he said.
I figured fantasy booking would be fun, so we talked about CM Punk's next challenger and dream matches of all time.
It was fun.
And giggles. It was
so
fun.
You ruined it.
Tried to ruin
it
for
here,
you.
Here goes another one for you. And it may actually happen. MJF versus The Miz.
Can't wait for
that would be a great
Miz
one.
and MJF fighting on SmackDown on a Thursday night.
Oh wow! Come on now.
Too bad knowing WWF, it'll be on Main Event.
Yeah.
Oh, 205 live.
All right, perfect lead in WWE's Hell in a Cell. We got 6 matches to go over.
We have to.
Yeah, they can move to this. You're so man, they can move to this. It's brand new. Open your eyes and realize it's the new guys. Y'all can make.
So we can make it really quick and just do picks.
This is a goddamn Raw pay-per-view. There's not even a SmackDown match on the fucking card.
No, there's not actually. Wow,
No,
fuck.
there's
no wait.
I
saw McIntyre. Isn't he on it?
No. I only got 6.
Okay.
Unless they added something today because I got 6 matches.
I think they're going to add Usos and Riddle and Shinsuke, but we just literally saw it Friday, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't see it because I don't watch
CJ,
that
KO,
much.
and Ezekiel. Who you got, CJ?
I
gotta get this belt off of EZE. Now we guarantee, because he's not here, we guarantee a new champion.
KO.
Ray?
It's going to be Ezekiel in some type of flash victory because I don't think they're done with this.
All right. Doc?
Unfortunately, even though KO is my favorite, I'm going to have to say Ezekiel with a roll-up or something, some like schmoz way.
I'm going to stick with CJ and think Kevin Owens wins here. It's going to be by DQ because Ezekiel's brother is going to come down and interfere.
Played by Damian Sandow.
I hope so bad.
Oh my god, right?
I would pop so hard. The only two things that would make me pop hard right now for a WWE pay-per-view is if the Peacemaker music plays and Cena comes out as him, or Sid now as Elias.
Well, he said Aaron Stevens the other day I saw on NWA said he's done. Yeah, he's retiring.
Yeah.
Well,
he don't have to do anything.
It's a work. It's a work.
You got rid of us all.
Yeah, you're loud. You're loud. You're so loud.
Skipped over something. Yeah.
You skipped that match. Big deal.
Yeah, I know. Really.
Yeah, you could skip
Lashley.
it. All right. 1, 2, 3. Lashley.
Yep.
Everybody says
Yep.
Lashley.
Yep.
Me too. Purple Light Orchestra and the Fake Bullet Club.
Wow. Shit.
Why? It's not the Fake Bullet Club, you fucking moron.
It's the originator. Just like me. So, you got the originator.
It's a joke, you morons.
It's a
Jesus.
work.
It's work. It's a whole. Everything's a work.
Purple Light Orchestra for the win, but this is the only match that I really care about.
Yep.
I'm interested. I mean, I want to see Cody and Seth. They're going to tear the house down as usual, but
Though here in Brody King's words, the Wish version of the House of Black.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do. They are 4 of my favorite wrestlers. I'm not trying. They are 4 that I really like.
All right.
And
Are you ready for this?
good, CJ.
Finn and AJ.
Damn, why do I keep agreeing with you? Those are the 2 I like more. I'd love to see them get the win, even though I highly doubt they will. I'm going with CJ again and fake Bullet Club.
Okay. I think you see a new member of
Bully Club.
I think you see a new member of the Judgment Day.
Judgment Night, the movie, part 2.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
I'm Theory.
Oh yeah.
And anybody not picking Theory?
Theory.
I'm good.
Okay, we're all picking Theory.
Steve Austin did a Twitter, or Steve Austin, Jesus Christ. John Cena did a Twitter Q&A, and he called out Austin Theory numerous times.
Love it. Peacemaker.
And
Let's go.
Theory's his challenge has been saying that he
SummerSlam
wants
rumor.
Cena for SummerSlam.
I dig it.
And if you go and watch this Q&A, it's on TikTok, like bits and pieces of it, and it says like current star you would like to verse. He said Theory. Current star who reminds you of yourself, Theory. Like he's throwing Theory into a bunch of shit. Current star who needs an attitude adjustment, Theory.
I dig it. I'll pay for it. I hope they have more matches that have
I'm
that
sold
much
on
theme
that.
to it. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but only as Peacemaker.
I don't care. Asuka all the way. That's my pick. I want her to win.
This is a Bianca retain.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I think too. But
I feel
DH.
Bianca retains because Becky could take the pin out
I'm
of
picking
all.
Asuka just because I want to hear it go, oh baby, oh you baby. I love Asuka. I dig Asuka right now. I don't know why. I just dig what she's doing.
No, I
Finally
agree.
letting her talk a little more and show.
I
her
think she's
personality.
gorgeous.
Her
Yeah,
English
she's
has
hot.
gotten a lot better too.
Yep. She's entertaining, man. That's what you want to be when you're a fucking sports entertainer. All right, CJ, Hell in a Cell match. Kind of mad they only have one Hell in a Cell match.
Friggin' Rollins.
All right, Ray.
Cody fucking Rhodes.
Doc.
Cody.
You guys are gonna make.
I hate that they're going to get in 3 matches, but it kills his momentum if they don't.
Yeah.
It's true.
Come on, Blaze. You know you want Seth. Friggin'
I'll be a
Rollins.
loser with CJ. I got all the same fucking picks as CJ. I think this show. So here's one thing we want to talk about. We'll get our at the end of the day about Bray Wyatt because there's big rumors he's coming back. At the end of the day, if you know someone who says at the end of the day, they probably say it way too fucking much. So let's hear everybody's at the end of the day. There was rumors about Bray Wyatt. He's teasing him coming back. I think it's going to be WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I agree too.
At the end of the day, CJ.
At the end of the day, I'm loving the new job. I am tired as all get out, but I got to get back into a routine of things. But yeah, at the end of the day, life is good, and I'm fucking sober.
It's all a work, right?
It is a work.
Oh,
No, that's not a fucking work.
It's a
brother.
shoot.
That's straight
That's
fucking
shoot.
It was a work that turned into a shoot, but now shoot the work. Ray,
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
it's a straight shoot.
At the end of the day,
a straight shooter from the side.
At the end of the day, AEW has penciled in the next ROH pay-per-view, Death Before Dishonor.
Nice.
And I'm hoping that finally comes with some type of TV thing so that they can unbloat the roster.
Tony did say one of his hopes were in that little interview. I didn't mean to interrupt, but he
And
said
at the
weekly
end-
ROH show.
And at the end of the day, there was a question in our private chat about who you want to see in Playboy from WWE. And the answer is Nikita Lyons.
Yes.
Search her in a blue bikini right now. You'll thank me later. I'm a sexist pig and I don't give a fuck.
Fakita.
Rocking
Fakita
everywhere.
lines, they call her. Hey now. Doc, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, this
You're a
is
cantankerous old fuck.
Yeah, get off my lawn at the end of the day. Street lights are on.
At the end of the day, I thought I'd be able to say something without someone taking it, and then of course Blaze, fucked it all up.
What?
You're welcome, Easy E, the $50. I
And-
appreciate the $50 you paid me to do this.
What? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah.
Easy paid me
sorry,
$50
Doc, go
and
ahead,
a
give
couple
your point.
chase figures to make fun of you and dig on you at the end of the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's the only one doesn't work and goes at 7 a.m, but we're not going to get into that either.
Yeah.
Well, no, he works.
Hey, Hey, it's fucking National Donut Day tomorrow. Fuck
yeah,
off.
it is National Donut Day. Yeah, he has to hold.
He has to, a donut from the side.
Yeah, he has to hold all those donuts.
He's got to glaze all them holes.
Oh my
God. Okay, you know what? You said it. I did.
At the end of the day,
you guys
I'm Mark.
fucking
I'm Mark.
That's
Sason.